Yeah, so thanks, David, for having us in today. Obviously, we've done a lot of presentations with you in the past. It's always great to be back here. Thanks for all of the traders that are here. And if it wasn't for you guys and gals, we wouldn't have a business to be able to provide resources to. So obviously, your attendance is always appreciated. Hopefully, you learned some things from the prior presenters. Obviously, they've got a lot of experience and a lot of information. So hopefully, everybody's getting value out of today. And I'm here to extend on that experience. My name is Sean Kozak. I'm the founder and CEO of Tickblaze and the NeuroStraight ecosystem. And what I'd like to do normally is rather than just going into a presentation, I actually want to give you guys a few links because obviously everybody likes to take advantage of resources, benefits, and obviously save lots of money. Tickblaze is free. You don't have to pay for it. So I'm going to basically just put this in the chat box. You'll see why I'm leading with this. For your guys' advantage, I suggest saving these links. You'll know why as we go through the presentation. I'm also going to give you the marketplace link. If you go up to the Tickblaze website, there's a shop here. This is an app store, and this app store is filled with copious amounts of indicators, strategies, algorithms, signal systems, etc. We're one of the largest software development companies in the world. We have over 150 applications built on 5 trading platforms, but now we have it in our own platform, which is Tickblaze. And if you go to the free section here, we've got about $10,000 worth of strategies for free. I mean, most traders are buying these things. We just give them away for free. And if you're like me, who doesn't like to download free strategies, free indicators, get free tools and resources? Since the platform is free, you can have these for free. I just want to let you guys know you can go there and go into the free section. There's also a little button up here that says community. And ultimately, this is an open source community that you can actually go and check it out. You'll have to have an account with Tickblaze, which is free. You can download it, but you'll get access to the actual community with thousands of traders. You can go in here and you can take a look at the live trades today. Like people are posting all their trades. There's just tons of traders trading in here, live trades every single day. I mean, this is just people are just posting things and strategies, and just there's so many people in here that are actually helping traders. But there's a ton of stuff for free and there's a ton of resources in here. So I'm always about building value and giving access to resources. And also earmark our YouTube. I highly encourage you to go to our YouTube. We have one of the most comprehensive education portals in the YouTube section. Strategies, real traders trading lots of money, actual traders trading big prop accounts, really, really experienced people. So I just wanted to lead with that because those links are free and you can take advantage of that. And obviously, while I'm going through this presentation, these links will be valuable because you're going to see exactly what we're about to show here. Okay. Can I get a yes in the chat box that everybody understands that? Are they able to type in here, David? I don't know if they can respond or not, but if they can, if they can't.
Yeah,
If,
yeah, the
okay.
chat is open for everyone.
Okay. So if you can hear me, oh, great. Just type a Y in the chat box. If you guys are understanding of that, that'd be great. And we'll get going. Fantastic. So, striker profiles. I asked David if we could do this presentation because this is unique for equities and futures traders. What I'm about to show you took 3 years to build. It can't be done on any other platform, just mainly because you need a relationship with the data vendor to do it. Because I own our platform, we have partnerships with brokers, institutions, quants, funds, hedge funds, data providers. I mean, we're a technology provider, but one of the biggest selling trading systems that we've ever seen in this industry has been striker profiles, and there's a reason for it. What I'm about to show you is where the institutional options players are leveling their trades and they're actually hedging their positions. And the problem is that options is very difficult. Options is a very complicated business. It's very, very important. It's very successful. It's where all the institutions play. It's where the big boys live. It's where the leverage is. It's where the banks are doing their business. But to the retail traders, you got to be a rocket scientist to understand that stuff. And honestly, if you're like me, I just like to make a lot of money and I don't like to have to think a lot, right? Like, yes, I'm intelligent and sure I understand what's going on, but if you could do what you could do in 5 minutes or less without having to be a master of the markets and actually trade where the banks are placing their levels, that would be powerful. Now, if 5 years ago, if somebody said that to me, I'd say, okay, yeah, banks are going to play. You don't know what you're talking about, right? Like banks aren't going to tell you where they are, but they actually are, and they're actually exposing their hand in the options chain, and we're going to talk about that today. And it's only available for weekly and zero DT options. And it's only available for stocks and futures. Can you guys tell me if you're a stock trader or futures trader? Just put an S for stocks, F for futures, or B for both. I'd like to understand this. What we're able to do every single day is I'm able to tell you where the NASDAQ, where the S&P, where the Russell, where the Dow Jones, where crude, where gold. I can tell you every single day with a 99.7% level of accuracy that is publicly posted on the exchange websites where the banks are going to hedge their positions for expiring options every day and every week, because it's public knowledge. It's just 99% of the world doesn't even know it's existing. And most traders don't know where to do it. Now, because this information has been traded, we have performance behind it. We've actually got statistics behind it. We've traded this live. Just note that I have to put a disclaimer in here because we have a lot of experienced traders in our community, and myself, I'm a very experienced trader. My results are not typical, so obviously I'm not here to guarantee you something, but I am here to show you that with the right information, the right education, the right tools, success is possible. And if you could do me a favor and just put a Y in the chat box, so that way I know you understand and accept the risks. That way I can move forward like professionals. That'd be great. Fantastic. So there is nothing like this in the industry. There is thousands of tools for support and resistance. There's tools all over the world for indicators and momentum and oscillators and levels and zones, etc. But there is nothing that can do what striker profiling does, because it requires a B2B relationship with the data vendor. We actually have a partnership with the data vendor. We buy the data at bulk with the platform, and we actually built an integration database inside of the platform so that every single day I can show you where the traders are basically putting big trades on with the options chain. And we're going to go through all this really quickly. Obviously, you can see what's on the slide. I'm not big for reading slides. I'm not big for information overload. I just like to get into the meat and show you how to make money. And if you think that there's value to that, then you can basically learn from that. Okay. The goal here is that for decades, this was only ever available to do manually. You could go to the NYSE, you could go to the NASDAQ, you could go to the Chicago Mercantile Exchange and do what we're about to show you manually, but it was a very time-consuming process. And my development team, we spent over a year and a half building an infrastructure in our platform so that every single day we can pull the data and create levels on your chart that shows you where the banks are placing their orders and their institutional hedge levels. Now, why is it so powerful for zero DTE and weekly options? Well, because there's an exponential relationship between delta and gamma. And you don't need to even know what that means right now because many traders wouldn't. But if you understand what I'm about to share with you, is that as time gets closer and closer to expiration, okay, in an option, the impact of delta becomes greater, and the gamma will tell you the impact of that delta. And because zero DT options expire every day, okay, there's big moves that happen in the market on these levels because the institutions are hedging their positions. They have to roll their positions. They have to move money into these other options. And there's no getting around that. Like, this isn't some magic potion. Maybe I'm going to look at some indicator giving me some signal. This is what's going on in the market. This is not a retail concept. This is not somebody trying to sell you tools. This is the bank's levels, and this is where they're doing their business. Okay. And it took us years to build this, right? Now, if you're a prop firm trader or if you're somebody trading for your own account, I don't know. We have a lot of traders that trade for prop firms, but we also have a lot of traders that trade for their own accounts. The same goes true. You don't want to blow up your account. You don't want to lose money. That's a given, right? And you don't want to basically be trading where you don't know where you're trading, right? Like, you could draw levels on your chart. You could put trend lines and support and resistance tools, and you can do all that. But that's not going to do anything remotely close to what we're about to share with you, because all of that information is done by you. It's not done by the banks, and it's not done by the information that's publicly available in the market option chain. Okay. So this is an example of a trading account in one of our prop firm environments where, you can just see it's up and to the right, right? You're dealing with like close to a 3.7 profit factor and a 70% win rate with a 1.7 risk reward ratio to win loss. I mean, if you're able to trade with stats like that, you're in the majors. You're in the major leagues. This isn't maybe I'll sell some stocks and make a little bit of money, or maybe I'll sell some futures and maybe I'll day trade. No, like, if you actually want to make a boatload of opportunity in what you're doing, you need to be around the right information, because the rest of it's just noise. The rest of it's just noise. right? Like there's maybe 5% of this industry that know what's going on, and the other 95% are just slaves to the market, right? And that's not me being arrogant. That's just me going over the data. We own a platform, we own a prop firm, we have 5 other fintech companies that build applications into all the tech stacks. I'm here to share with you the reality. If you're going to make a lot of money in this business, right, you need to be using tools that are going to give you an unfair advantage to the rest of the people you're trading against. Now, I want to tell you a little story. I was on a plane going to Miami, and I was going to a hedge fund conference. I was actually going to meet 3,000 hedge fund traders and managers. And I was actually going, I had the privilege of listening to Oren Clough, and I had the privilege of actually meeting the actual person that they made the movie of the Big Short, right? And I met him in person. We talked, and I was on the plane. And I was listening to Ray Dalio's book called Principles, and there was a chapter in that book that talked about fundamentals, and he said in that book that the entire world that moves the money around in the institutions never trade on technicals. Every decision is made on fundamentals. Technicals are used for entries only, but the decision to do things are based on fundamentals. And when I heard that, I went into the development team and I said, I want to find a way to take institutional options levels, partner with a data vendor, buy the data, build a database so that we can feed the levels into retail traders' charts so that every single minute of every single day, a trader can see where the buyers and the sellers are of the big players. And that's what we did. Now, we did it manually. This is an image of the Chicago Mercantiles Exchange website. This information is literally on their website. Okay. So if anybody knew what this information was telling you, which 99% of the world won't, you'd probably be very, very successful. Right. And to the untrained eye, you would never know, like, how do I take this information and put it into a chart? Like, what does it mean? Like, I didn't go to school for this. I'm not a brain scientist. I'm not here to be a rocket, scientist. Like, I am here to make money. I'm a trader. I just want to live my life. I want to have my family time. I get all that. But if you're going to participate in the market where these guys are professionally equipped to do things that most retail traders are not, wouldn't it be cool if every single day that you could literally just open up your chart and software with a click of a button would tell you exactly where the banks are placing their trades based off the options chain? Now, we did this manually for a long time. It took us about 2 hours a day. But done correctly, the statistics were incredible. The results were insane. But the time to preparation was unbearable. And so what we decided to do was we decided to really go into the weeds. We spent a ton of money and a ton of research building these tools so that we could literally turn it into this. You could go from that, which, maybe you want to build a rocket and go to the Mars with Elon Musk, or you could literally open up a chart and it just looks so clean. You can see exactly where the big trades are going to be. And that's exactly what we're doing here today. We're going to show you exactly how to use this tool, where to place your trades. It's going to show you exactly where to buy, exactly where to sell, and it's going to do it every single day, like clockwork. And when you see these levels, what's important is that you have to understand that you're not going to believe in something unless you understand the story behind it. If I was here to try to sell you an indicator like a supplier demand zones or a momentum oscillator, or I got this really fancy new tool that tells me where the market's going to go. Okay. Like that's just a hocus pocus sales pitch. Okay. But if you understand the data behind what this tool is doing, if you understand that this isn't even my tool, this is the options level that are pulled from the exchange, we're feeding the data into our charts and we're showing you what that data is telling us. This is a data-backed application. This is not an indicator. This is an options chain that is on the chart in the same visuals as a market profile. And this is the cleanest way to trade without having to use indicators on your chart. You don't need an indicator when you have this. This tells you exactly what the banks are doing, right? Now, we did it manually. Like, let me tell you, like I said earlier, like we took all the information for the puts and the calls and the open interest and the gammas and the deltas. And like, I started as an options trader back when I got out of college. Frick, that was over 20 years ago. And I started as an options trader because I loved it. I thought that was going to be it. Anybody that knew options, man, if you have to be smart, you're going to make a ton of money and it's going to be great. Options is extremely complex, but yet it is the backbone to the institutions. The reason why the institutions play in the options level game is because they have to. They have to play in the options levels because they need the leverage. They need the exposure. It's where the professionals live. It's not where the retail traders live, right? And if you're somebody that's just looking to buy or sell the S&P or buy Nvidia or sell Facebook, or maybe you're a day trader trading the S&P, or you want to buy and sell the Nasdaq as a prop firm trader, you're just looking to trade, whatever your story, it doesn't matter, because weekly options are weekly options, zero DT options are zero DT options. It just matters that the options chain can feed the data, which is what we can. Okay. And so here's an example of, like, we used to take these levels and we would draw them on the chart. You can see this arrow here, and you can see the market just ripped right to the upside, right? There's a reason for that, right? It's because that's where the big traders were positioning their trades for the day. Like, that's where the options chain, like that image was taken from the website. We took a screenshot, we plot our levels manually, and then Bob's your uncle. Instead, the chart on the right, it just does it all for you. You don't even have to think. You don't have to go to any website. You don't get to take any screenshots. You can go do nothing, right? And so obviously, clearly, we want an unfair advantage. Like, we want to be able to do this manually because it makes sense. It's easier. And it's, I mean, wouldn't you want to know where the banks are trading? Like, I would. Like, every single day when I get up, if I could say, okay, there's the biggest levels for the day, the banks are going to move the money there, they're going to trade there, they're going to unload their positions there, we're going to get a big squeeze there. That's important, right? And as a day trader, or as an intraday swing trader, or intra-week swing trader, this is very, very, very powerful information that is not actually available in any other platform in the world. Like, I know this because I know all the owners of every broker and every platform that exists. We own Tickblaze. We're the only vendor in the world that's done this with a data vendor. Like, it's cutting edge. It's proprietary to us, and it's so valuable that we're actually going to be speaking on stage at the Money Show in Toronto in the fall, and also in Orlando. And I'm going to be demonstrating this specifically for thousands and thousands of traders in both of those conferences, because it'll be the first time that it's ever been released to the industry at a platform level. It's not an indicator. This is built directly into the platform. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through this. I'm going to teach you how to do it. I'm going to show you what it is. I'm going to show you today's trades. We're going to show you exactly how the market responded to these levels today. And then you can see why it's so powerful. Okay. You can watch the recording if you want to read the slides. I don't really like to read slides and go through bullets. It's just, I like to just tell what it is, get into the charts, show you how to make money. I just normally trade like that. Okay. Now, here's an example of what the software is going to do. There's two components. There's a chart component, and then there's a statistics component. I personally never really use the statistics because I'm an active trader and I don't really care so much about the data because the levels will be plotted on the chart, but we offer both. And what's going to happen is we're going to automatically plot the levels of the options chain into the platform. Okay. We're going to show you the gamma flip. We're going to show you the histograms. We're going to show you the difference between stacked and split modes. We're going to show you the volatility dashboards. We're going to actually show you which levels are more powerful than the others, so you can actually filter from the strongest to the weakest levels. And then we're going to show you the difference between open interest and executed interest, right? There's open interest on just strike prices, which means people have an open interest on that chain at that point. And then there's also open interest gamma, which is a very different discussion. And we'll talk about gamma in a different environment. We've got, videos on it. And what gamma does is it basically, it's going to tell you the impact of the delta as the time decay, gets closer to expiration. And normally the higher the gamma, the bigger the squeeze, the bigger the gamma, the bigger the move. And if you can see big open interest at levels with big gamma, you can see that's where the institutions are going to play their big trades, right? And we're going to show you that today because it's easy. Like, if you told me this years ago, I'd be like, what did you just say? Like, I don't understand any of that, right? But if you show me on a chart in 3 minutes or less that this is exactly what this is designed to do, everybody wants that. Like, that's like, I want that. I wanted that 15 years ago when I first started trading. I would have killed for this information back in the day, right? So what we're going to do is I'm going to go into the charts. We're going to show you some trades. We're going to go in and actually take a look at how to trade this, what this is, what we're doing here. What's nice is that it's very clean. You're only going to see levels on your chart. Even if you want to add other stuff at your own strategies, that's fine. This isn't a replacement to what you're doing. This is meant to be used with everything. So a lot of times in webinars or in sales events, or you meet people and they want to sell you the next best thing. I don't care what you're trading with because you can use this with everything that you're doing. In fact, you should, because if you're going to buy anything in your strategies and you're not at a level where the institutions are buying, maybe not do that. Right? Like if you're in a place to sell, like you're going to see today, there was levels where the institutions were selling. The trades were incredible. But if you didn't know where that was going to happen, how would you know? Right? So here's a trade I took. You can see there's two levels on the chart here. And this is what's crazy. Like I'm going to show you this is an example of of a market. Now this is crude oil, so you could trade ETFs, you could trade oil stocks, whatever you want. It doesn't matter. I mean, we have a list of all the feeds that we support. But you take a look here. There's a level here and there's a level here, and that's it. Like there's nothing else in between this entire section of price. There's nothing else. So what they do, the banks are going to buy here and they're going to sell here. Like that's when you can just see the market. Like the market comes up, push it down, push up. Like, but that's all you need to worry about. Where are they taking their trades? Everything else is noise. Everything else is noise. And it's that clean. You can see how quickly price just falls through these levels when there's nothing here. It's because there was nothing in the options chain, so the institutions are going to do business between these strike prices. That's just the way it goes. Like there might have been a lot of other noisy stuff in there. We just turned it off because we only want to show the strongest levels. Here's another example of a trade that I took. Okay, this is on the S&P futures. You could do it on the spiders. You could do it on anything. Right? You can do it on NVIDIA, Tesla, Apple, Google, Amazon, whatever you want to do. But this is just an ES futures contract, and so you can see here that this is small, bigger and big, right? Bigger and big. So the market's just dropping. It gets to the biggest level for this was the biggest strike price for the day in the options chain. It just stops the market. It just stops the market. It didn't stop the market. All of the traders up here that were selling said, I'm going to offload my positions here because that's where the business is in the chain. So the banks know what they're doing. They're driving the market from here all the way down, knowing that they're going to do this. So when we get the reaction, if you're a directional trend trader, I just short this level. I got it right to the tick. Took my targets. Super easy. There's so many ways in which you can trade this. You can buy the reversals. You can trade the trends with this. Just don't play in the middle with the small levels because the market's not going to trade there. Right? Take a look at this one. This is a great example on the Russell. This is the RTY small cap index. You could trade the IWM ETF, or this example to the IWM. Take a look at this. There's literally nothing. This was the gamma flip. We'll talk about that. Take a look at the reaction on the gamma flip. That's an amazing trade, by the way. We'll talk about the gamma flip. There's always one trade a day on the gamma flip. So if you're somebody that wants to trade just one trade a day on any market, you can just trade the gamma flip. Like it's like the success rate on the gamma flip trade is just unbelievably like one of the most highest probability setups I've ever seen in 20 years of trading. Right. And I've worked with like over 50,000 traders. I own a prop firm, so I understand what data goes behind success. Right. So let me explain this for a second. Okay. The whole market just dropped. There's nothing there. And then that is exactly where they stop it. And they stopped it with literally 3 ticks of heat. And they came up to the gamma flip level, which is this dotted line. And they broke through trend trade and then impulse, like boom. And like there's nothing else in here. Like this is the trade done. Like there's no other ways around that. If you look at any stocks, you look at anything like that, you can understand. Like I want to take a look at today. So this is literally the S&P right now, and the market just closed. Okay, the market just closed. Okay. And so the options chain will be quiet right now because obviously you can see that like this, but I want you to take a look. That is the biggest strike price right now. And this yellow line is the gamma flip. So you can just see the market drop below, trade, came back up, trade, came back up, trade. It's all sitting here on the strike price, which is just, it's standing. It's a sore thumb. You can't get away from that. Like now you're going to see here, if I go into this button, this is the control center. So what we're doing is we feed a data feed, which we pay for, by the way. You don't have to pay for data. It's all covered in part of the tool. We feed the data into the system. We're looking at puts and calls on 0 DTE options and weekly options. Okay, so you can turn it here. You can say, I want to look at weeklies. If I want to look at weekly options, I could just turn it here and I could put the weekly options. Take a look, it's going to load the data. Okay, there's weekly options. Okay, so the weekly options are going to look ever so slightly. But take a look at what they did. They came right down to the gamma flip on the weekly option. Now you're saying, well, what the hell is a gamma flip, Sean? The gamma flip is the difference between the red and the blue. And what that means is sellers and buyers, the blue are the buyers, the red are the sellers. And what ends up happening is when you're below the gamma flip, it means they're more likely going to have more, put levels, and then above it, you're going to have more calls. I don't want to go into a big education event today because it really doesn't need to be that simples. Yeah, Mark says, what the hell is a gamma flip? The gamma flip is basically anything below this level, you're going to have larger blue lines because that's put support. Anything above that level, you're going to have more red lines, which is more call resistance. And this is like the line in the sand. And it is hands down an amazing trade. If you're coming at it from below, that's a support trade. If you're coming at it from, that's a resistance. It doesn't get more clear than that. Like it's that simple. And what I do is when I look at the option chain, I look at all of this. This is an options chain, by the way. You may think it's not, but it is. These are strike prices. These are strike prices in the options chain that we've turned into a profile, just like volume and market profile. And what we do is we can see the difference. Let me just draw the connections here. Let's just draw this. So what you want to understand is the biggest levels are where the biggest trades are going to be. It's that simple. Trade the mountains, trade the peaks. And then the gamma flip is here, right? You take a look, this is a pretty big level. What did they do? They came right down to that weekly level, like right to the tick today. They stopped the market, the entire S&P. If you look at the spiders chart, it's the exact same thing. You're going to load this on a SPY, right? Boom. That's the second biggest blue level for the day. Blue is support, red is resistance. Sell the red, buy the blue. That simple, right? Now you could change it to pink and purple, whatever you're fancy. But, I get up here, like, take a look at this. They got stopped on the wall. That's a wall. They're going to stop the market there. Like that's not by accident. That is not by accident that they drove it all the way up to that wall, right? And you can extend it. You can just draw them across the line. Just hit the button, extend it. You don't have to draw anything. Just there it is. There it is. These are what I like to do, and this is normally how I like to trade these. Like you can't deny what your eyes are seeing here. Like I could sit there and try to tell you, oh, this is the best tool. Well, it's not even an indicator. This is options levels. It's not an indicator. No, crypto doesn't have options, Mark. I wish, brother. Yeah. No Forex, no crypto, just stocks and futures. Right? So the market opened here, traded up, came right back down. Remember, this is a 30-minute chart. This is amazing day trades. Boom, came back up, came back down, hit the resistance, came back down, pushed through, hit the support, push back. Like for me, I don't trade every level. What I like to do is I like to look at the levels here. I would never buy that. Looks great in hindsight, but I would wait for a level to get down there, and then I would look for an entry pattern. I would look for like a break or the next higher close, or like there's different ways in which you can trade it. But as a trader, like you can see that this, what was really key about this level is that this was a level and the gamma flip at the same time. So this is really, really powerful to trade those levels. And what's really cool about this is that this is really big blue support below the gamma flip. So big levels below the, I always look for the biggest red above the gamma. Like the biggest red above the gamma flip for the week is here, right there. They stopped it to the tick. The biggest blue below the gamma is here and here. They stopped it to the tick. This is the gamma flip level. So if you're looking for the big reversals, like the big reversals where the banks are going to move the market, you look for the biggest option strike price that is basically peeking its head. You got to remember, the banks are telling you what they're doing here. The banks are saying, hey, you have my tools now. Everything else is noise to a retail trader. Like that's just honest. Like, and I'm not here to try to paint some picture of like some fancy movement oscillator or some Bollinger Bands. Like none of that shit's going to work, right? Like we have so many traders that we work with globally in all capacities, day traders, swing traders, investors. And we're not here trying to sell you the sizzle. I'm a big believer of data. If you can show me why this is so powerful compared to other ways of using tools, I'm willing to listen to anything you have to say. Because as a trader, my job depends on making the best decisions and managing risk with little downside, right? No, it's not the fib. It's the 50% threshold of the relationship between puts and calls. So think of it as the tipping point that separates put support and call resistance in the chain. Puts and call options, put options, call options in the options chain. And it's an open interest. So what it is, it's open interest on the gamma. Good question. So let's change this. I can change this to open interest, which means these are options that have positions at different strike prices. Watch what will happen to the chain. I'm going to hit OK. So give it a second. So this is open interest. And the reason it's like this is because the market's closed. So the options chain is not moving. So this will not work until the market opens again. So as soon as the market opens again, you would come in here and you would just hit OK and the market would open. But if I go to open interest gamma, right, I can turn this on and you're going to see this because there's still an open interest on the gamma. Okay. So this is a lot of information to take in, but my goal here, if I take a look at the Russell, right, you can see the Russell today. This was the Dow, this was the Russell, this is the small cap index, right? And you can see, like, even if you just look at the gamma flip trade, like this is a 30-minute chart. Like that trade right there is that's enough to do a lot of damage. That's a 30-minute chart. It came up there to the tick and came all the way back down. That's a lot of move on the Russell. That's a 30-minute time frame. Came back up, market opened here, got stuck on resistance, came down to support here. And that's the whole point, is that you're going to look at the options chain and you're going to start to see, like, you don't even need to look at an options chain ever again unless you're executing options. That's different. But if you want to trade stocks or futures and you don't want to have to be a rocket scientist, you don't have to. Right. And we have thousands of traders that take advantage of this because it's literally built inside of the chart. So up here, you got a toolbar. Come in here and you hit this. Now, obviously, this is an add-on in the platform. And the way you get these add-ons is you're going to see that Tickblaze is free. Like, you don't have to pay for the platform. Our platform is free for retail traders. Like, you can, our platform is built for B2B prop firms and institutional quant funds. So if you're a retail trader, you can download it for free. You can connect here. You can take a look at all of our connections, all of our broker connections. We work with broker connections, everything in every asset class. We have a lot of partners, right? But when you go into the marketplace, you're going to see here, these are all the apps. So if I come in here, indicators and strategies, you're going to see that we've got, let's take a look at the free ones. And you're going to see that we got striker profiles here, right? Now we've got a promo running. So we're going to give you a discount. We got some deals running right now. So you guys can take advantage of that. There's a lot of other tools that you can be done in Tickblaze. But if you want to watch the webinar on striker profiles, you can actually go and watch other presentations. We've done presentations on this. I mean, if you're really, really serious about trading in a different level, like if you're somebody that's like, okay, like I want to make a lot of money, I want to stop listening to the salesman, and I want to get in tune with what's going on behind the scenes, even the best influencers and the best vendors come to us and buy our software. Like the educators, the YouTubers, the people with thousands and thousands of traders behind us buy our products because we have the best development resources in the game, period. So I'm not saying that to boast. I'm saying that because if you're going to spend money somewhere, you better make sure you're spending it in the right place so that the tools that you're using give you a massive advantage. Massive. Your life and your bankroll depends on that, right? If you're going to trade, you make money, not waste time. Your time is money, right? So these are here. These are here for you, and these are there for you to be able to take advantage of. And you can go in here to go into the community and watch this. If I just come here at Striker, if I just hit Striker, I just search in Striker, the Striker profiles has changed everything for me. Or if I just come in here and do this, yeah, you can trade it at night. Absolutely. The options chain works at night. You look at all the people posting in Striker, live trades, nothing fancy, traditional order flow in Striker, Striker great win, like breakout Striker. Like I can just keep hitting more results. Like there's thousands of people trading Striker, like, you know, and like going back months and months and months of people trading this, right? And I can go into this and do this all day long. Yeah. So give me a yes if that makes sense to you. I mean, if you take a look at crude oil, I mean, crude oil had great trades today, like massive trades on crude oil. Like, and take a look at the gamma flip. Like the gamma flip was right here, just stopped the market, right? And you know, if you think about where the market played out, okay, if you think about where the market played out, you can see here stops it, stops it. Like it just comes, stops it, stops it, stops it. Like they're just trading from strike price to strike price. Like that's all they're doing. They're trading. But I would position myself, and what you can do, and this is really cool about the software, you can actually come in here and you can choose it as a stacked mode. So you can turn it like this and you can actually see it like that. So you can actually see the relationship between the puts and calls in a different way. I've always liked to just put it as a regular view because I just like to see the relationship on top of each other. And then if you don't want to see it all the way extended, you can do this. But if you want to make it so that you can really restrict only the biggest of the biggest levels, I can just go down here and hit 5. And I'm only going to see the best levels, like the levels with the biggest strength. So these are the levels with the biggest strength. You can see like I could have a lot more here, but I would go in and I can just turn it to all. Now watch, you can see a ton more coming into the chain. But I will come in and I will actually put it to custom. If I want to put it to the top 2 strongest levels, right? There they are. And those are the big levels for the day. So if I'm going to trade those, I'm going to trade around those. Like that's, you can see that that's where the big trades were, the big resistance. Trade the resistance above the gamma flip, right? Trade the resistance above the gamma flip, right? That's important. That's where the market dropped. Trade the support below the gamma flip, right? Yeah, it looks like a volume profile. We built it that way, Mark, on purpose because it allows you to operate volume levels at price, but it's actually option levels at price. Yeah, option strike on open interest and gamma. Yeah, so that's the key, and that's the whole point is that. And it don't matter if you're trading. I don't have a stock data feed right now, guys. I only have futures on my feed. You could do this on. We have a list of all the stocks. You can actually go and we have a list of all the stocks and all the futures that we support for this. I just wanted to show you the S&P because it's easily it's 1-to-1 for the spiders, right? So this was exactly you would have seen this exact same relationship on the spiders today. Yeah, if you're an equities trader, makes sense. That's a lot of information. Like I said, I gave you a cool bunch of free resources to check out. Hopefully, you enjoyed that. Okay. Would you guys like to go over pricing? Would you guys like to just understand what comes with it? You guys can understand what's at stake here, and I'd love to be able to show you how to get your hands on it, go over the coupons, the discounts, and then we can go over some questions. Does that sound fair? You guys with me? Fantastic. So let's go into this. Normally it's a lot more expensive like because we feed the options levels, we pay for the options data. I mean, there's a whole lot going on here. So what we do is we just package a deal. Normally it's $39.95, okay, for the entire infrastructure. Tickblaze is free, right? You don't got to pay for the platform. The platform is free. It comes with all of the software. It's a one-time purchase, so it's not a subscription. You don't have to keep paying for it. All of the training manuals, we have cheat sheets on how to use the strategy. We have videos on how to use it, pre-built layouts. We can log onto your computer if you're new to Tickblaze and you've never worked with us. We can actually log onto your computer and we can install it for you. And we can actually set you up. Like you can have a demo. We can get you on with our team. We do the remote installs all the time. We have recorded training with some of our private community. We did some private training with a bunch of traders trading this software. So obviously you get access to those recordings, and it actually comes with the data feed. Like we pay for your data, so you don't actually have to pay for any data. Okay. Now, what we do in the App Store is that you get 1 year free in the App Store. We have a maintenance fee. It's per user, not per product. So there's a lot of traders will buy like 4 or 5 different apps inside of the marketplace in a year. We don't charge maintenance fees per product. It's per user. So what that means is that you could buy this and then maybe buy a few other marketplace tools if you like it. But we charge a $300 maintenance fee every year just to keep all the software bug-free, updated, complacent with the platform upgrades, etc. But you get your first year free, so you don't have to buy that right now, right? And it just gets automatically tacked on at the end when your year is up, right? So we'll give you a massive deal. Like this is massive. And I'm doing this because David brought us in. We're doing a presentation. Like we haven't done this presentation with you guys, so hopefully you guys can see value in it. But we'll save you $2,750, right? So if you're serious and you want to take advantage of this tool, it's only $1,245 regular to $4,000, but it's only good for 24 hours. Okay, so it's only good for 24 hours. So you're gonna need to move quickly on that because it's a promo that's ending in the next 24 hours. Yeah. Now, what we're gonna do? Thanks, David. I see you posted the link in there. That's great. Like I said, like we've won. we've won copious amounts of awards with Benzinga. I mean, we're a very well-known trading platform. We work with prop firms and brokers, and in fact, some of you guys might like this because I don't know if you guys are who you trade with, which brokers you trade with, and et cetera. But I'm going to show you who we connect to so that you understand the connection guides for your liquidity. If you're trading for a prop firm, you're great. If you're trading for an equity broker, I'm going to show you who we work with. So let me give you a second here. I'm going to pull up the website. So if you go to the website, you're going to see there's a platform here that says connections. And what's important is that I'm not saying you got to change your platform. If you're already using another platform, great. If you're using another broker, great. But if you want to use this tool, it has to be done on Tickblaze. And we work with a ton of different partner companies. So we support 4 different data vendors. Okay. We DX Feed, IQ Feed, Polygon, Data Bento. CQG is next coming. We work with interactive brokers if you're looking for multi-asset. So there is connections into multi-asset brokers. All of the stock brokers that we support, Schwab is coming soon, but we integrate with all of these brokers. Some of these brokers have limitations on how you can place orders because our platform is more advanced than theirs. So you'll be able to do your basic trading, but we do some pretty sophisticated stuff on Tickblaze. So we'll let you know those limitations. But yeah, you can connect to all these stock brokers. We connect through CQG and Rhythmic gateways for all of the clearing firms and futures, all of the futures firms that we work with here. And then all of the Forex firms is through interactive brokers, and we are adding Kraken here pretty soon. Yeah. Yeah, we don't work with NinjaTrader. Yeah, NinjaTrader is a different broker. We don't work with NinjaTrader. Yeah. So also, if you go to the YouTube, you're going to go down. There's platform tutorials here. You can see that here. But you're going to want to check out the connection guides if you're interested in connecting to different brokers, depending on who you trade with. And that way you're not limited, right, as to where you want to place your trades, right? So, yeah, I mean, hopefully you want to take a look around. Hopefully you guys well, it wouldn't not work for your trading style because we use these on Renko charts, we use these on range charts, we use these on daily charts, weekly charts. I mean, it just really depends on who you are. Levels are levels, Mark. Great question. But yeah. Yeah, if you're a regular customer of ours, I don't know who you are, Ibis Trade 01. If you've bought products with us before and you've been a member of our yeah, absolutely. If you've been a frequent flyer with us, so to speak, yeah, just send us an email. You can send an email into support@tickblaze.com and we can easily hook you up. Yeah. Yeah. I don't see that. Oh, and we have a love it or swap it policy. So great question, Mark. Great question. So let's go in here. Let me find that for you. 1 second. Let's take a look here. So if you go to Tickblaze and you go to the marketplace, you're going to see we have our swap policy. So what this means is, if you don't love it, you can swap it for another product in here. So that's the goal, right? Like if you don't love it, you can go in here and swap it for something else, if you're interested in something else. But most people don't do that because they love the tools they trade with. Yeah. So lots of stuff here, but glad to have you guys in. And yeah, we're going to leave it open for questions. A little early here, David, to try to keep it under the 45-minute mark. But if there's any questions that want to come in here, guys, please type them in the chat box. We'd love to go over them with you. And I'll just leave this up so you guys know what the cost is. And it's a really, really big drop. Like it's thousands of dollars.
You have another 15 minutes if there's anything else you want to go over. So
Yeah, we can go over questions if anybody has it. I mean, if anybody wants to go over Q&A, I mean, I'm more than happy to do that. It's let me just see here. Maybe what I can do and let me just take a look. Let's go take a look here. I'm going to try, just give me a second. I'm going to connect to a different data feed. 1 second. Let's see if I have the data connection here. Just connecting. I have another data feed. I just want to see if I could pull a few other markets. Yeah, I'm going to try to pull that up. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just going to restart the platform here. And yeah, let's do this. I'm going to load it. We're going to see. Let me just double check here. I'm going to try to see if I have the other data feed here. Yeah, I'm going to try. Bear with me, guys. We got some time. Yeah, so I'm going to see if we can pull up one second here. I'm just going to see if I can pull up some of these other stocks. Yeah, here we go. So let me just share this with you guys. Appreciate the patience. So we can take a look at some stocks. You guys see that? So let me see if you guys can see that. Yeah, that you see this is the spiders. I just had to connect to a different data provider, right? Now remember, these move every 15 minutes. So this could have changed throughout the day. These options change move, right? So if I go in here, I want to change the 0 DTO options on this. They may not look the same because the options market's closed right now, right? So obviously this is critical, right? So obviously this is if we want to look at GLD, let's take a look at GLD. I think it's there. Let's take a look at gold, right? And yeah, maybe not. Maybe I don't have data for GLD. It just may not be covered in the options chain. We'll take a look at that. Let's take a look here. I don't know if it's part of the list. It might not just be part of it because I'm not connected to the data feed right now. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. What's the ticker for NVIDIA? There it is. I don't know if I have data for that. I don't have data for that. Yeah, I have to connect to my data provider. Yeah, and I don't have data for that. Oh, there it is. It showed it. There it is. NVIDIA does have data, so I just had to refresh the chart. So take a look at NVIDIA today. Like this is crazy, right? Like they took it right to the gamma flip, and then what they do? The biggest blue below the gamma flip. If all you do is just do that, like I said, if you just trade the biggest level above and below the gamma, and you just wait for the market to get there, right? That's crazy. Right? Like that's not by accident that they dropped this market off the open to here. Like that's an institutional move. They took it right to the gamma flip, right below, or the gamma flip is here. See how the gamma flip keeps moving? It's because the options chain is moving. So we're going to give it time, right? But these strike prices don't change very much. Very cool to see that, right? Can you show the stock end of say on the daily? Yeah, on the daily, I'm not sure about the daily. Let's take a look here. The daily. Which stock, Jeffrey? So yeah, so if you're using Ninja, you can execute on Ninja. You can place your trades, but this ain't working on Ninja. That's not like it ain't working on any other platform. You're never going to get these levels on any platform. It's not happening. Right. This is a proprietary infrastructure we coded for years, and we have a direct B2B partnership with the data vendor to provide this infrastructure. Like it's like some platforms provide scanning because they spend 5 years building that, right? Like this is a proprietary tool set that will not work on any other platform. It's not designed to do that. It's what makes Tickblaze so amazing is there's things inside of our platform that can't be done on other tech stacks. Yeah. Perfect. So we can go in here like Facebook. We can Facebook. I don't know what Facebook is. I think it's Meta now. Take a look at Facebook. Yeah, so Facebook was here and they dropped it like it's hot. That's a 30-minute chart. Let's go down to the 5 minute. Let's go down to the 5 minute, see what they did. The tech stack dropped pretty heavy this morning, right? But you can see how they just bounce around off these levels. Now, like I said, I like to look at the levels intraday because obviously intraday they're going to be a little bit more accurate because the market's open. These are weeklies. Let's take a look at the 0 DT and we'll see what they look like on the 0 DT. May not have any, yeah, because they've already expired. Yeah, there's nothing left on the 0 DT because the market's closed. So those options, Schwab won't be ready for a while, Jeffrey, honestly, because they move like snails, like literally snails. Like we were able to connect to 7 other brokers globally in the same time as it took for them to just reply to an email. So yeah, they're not really the preferred player. Yeah. Yeah. So you can go here and you can just take a look at so many different resources, right? If you want to look at the QQQs, take a look at the QQQs, just look at stocks, right? Doing these things. It's just, yeah, and you can take a look like it's, even if you look here on the weekly on the QQQs, right, it's incredible. It's interesting because the options chain will look a little differently on the stocks as they would on futures because it's a completely different options chain. Yes, there's a lot of relationship between the movement, but there's not a lot of relationship between the asset in terms of the chain. Like the chain will be different from futures to stocks, which is why we pull options data for stocks and futures differently. So you could have a chart of the Qs beside the NASDAQ and they'll look completely different in terms of the chain, but the chart might be looking very similar, right? So, you can take a look at the gamma flip and take a look. Big blue below gamma flip. Like it's that simple. Like just trade the big blue for the gamma, right? And there's some pretty big levels down here. There's a massive level down here. If we get down to 555, some big levels. What I like to do is I like to do this. Go in here and just put the top 5 levels. Like I just want to see the top 5 strongest levels in the chain. There they are. It just cleans up the noise. You don't have to trade anywhere else but these. Just look at the levels. Like you can see, like, let me just kind of paint a picture here. These are weekly levels, okay? Weekly levels. And you can see, I'm going to turn off these are the levels because these are weeklies. So these would have been yesterday and today. These are from yesterday and today. This is a weekly option, okay? Right. So ultimately, if you take a look at this, if you go into I'm just going to turn off the extend, okay? So you can see this, okay? So I just want you to kind of see the story here for a second, right? And I'm going to just turn on the actual chart and we're going to go in and we're going to basically just turn on the days, right? So this is today, which is Tuesday, and this is Monday. So this would have been there yesterday because it's a weekly option, and this was here today. So if we were trading here on the open up Monday, there's the overnight, and there's the market open at like 9:30. Okay, there's the market open. That was there. What they do, they take it up and they drop it down, where they take it all the way back down to this chain today. It's that simple. These are weekly options. And take a look. Like I said, trade the big red above the gamma flip. It's a massive level on the Qs, man. That's the short for the day. It doesn't look big here because the way I've got my chart scrolled out. If I just go like this, I do it like that, it looks a whole lot bigger. It's just the way you're looking at the chart. And so what you can do is you can come in here and if you just want to extend those over, you hit the extend the histograms, hit apply, and it's just that simple. Like it's just so clean. Like the charts are so clean. Like as a trader who's built over 150 products on 5 platforms, I know the difference between simple and complex tools, right? And I've seen Fibonacci levels. I've seen supplier demand levels. I've seen all the freaking things that everything you've ever heard of. I've built it. I've paid millions of dollars developing software. Nothing, and I mean nothing in 20 years of my development experience, even building platforms, comes close to what we were able to accomplish with Striker. It eliminates the need to even use an options chain unless you're using it to execute. That's it. And it's cutting edge, it's proprietary, and traders are crushing the market with this, like crushing it. So, yeah, these are going to be here tomorrow too. So take a screenshot of those if you want. Like those levels are going to be there in the open. Those levels will be there in the open, right? This is the QQQs. I'd love to see if you guys take a trade on this. You send me a thank you. I promise you, there's going to be reactions off these levels. It's 565 and 5. Take a look at this one down here at 555. There's some big levels. 555 is going to be massive. We get down to 555. I promise you this. Unless this changes because something changes in the chain, maybe a bank decides to change their head and change their position. But if the market opens here tomorrow and they take it there, those are some major, major buyers. If the market opens here tomorrow and they take it there, that's major sellers, major, major sellers. Like it's that simple. So, hopefully you guys enjoy that and you appreciate the experience that I'm bringing to the table here for this. It's been many, many years of building customized tools, and this is by far cutting edge. So, David, I want to thank you for having me. Always, it's a pleasure. We've had many times around the mics together, and you've always brought a great audience. So, hopefully, your traders can benefit from this. And like I said, I hope you learned something from all the other presenters. I'm sure they brought lots of experience as well. These events are great for everybody. Just know that what we do is unmatched, and I hope you guys can see that. Some big things happening on what we can do with these tools, and you could really change the narrative with how you trade. So yeah, appreciate you guys, and if you go to the YouTube, there's tons of videos there. Did you guys enjoy the presentation? I always like to get feedback while I'm here. You can say no, I have thick skin. But if you liked it, put a Y in the chat box because it always helps me know if I kept you guys engaged and want to know if you guys want me coming back. Great. Fantastic.